Welcome, explorers of the unknown. Today, we embark on a thrilling journey into the shadows of one of history's most mysterious and powerful civilizations, ancient Egypt. Hidden beneath the splendor of the pyramids and the beauty of the Nile are dark secrets and chilling myths that shape their beliefs in gods. So, get ready as we count down the top 10 dark secrets of ancient Egyptian mythology. Let's begin. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible videos. Number 10. The Curse of the Pharaohs. The Curse of the Pharaohs is one of the most famous and chilling legends to emerge from ancient Egyptian mythology. It is said that anyone who disturbs the tomb of a pharaoh will be cursed with misfortune, illness, or even death. This belief gained traction in the 20th century when several individuals connected to the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb died under mysterious circumstances. The curse was seen as the pharaoh's way of protecting their eternal rest from intruders, turning what was once a legend into a real-life mystery. While scientists often attribute these deaths to toxins or infections present in the tombs, the legend persists as a reminder of the ancient Egyptians' deep belief in the power of their gods and the afterlife. The curse serves as a powerful symbol of the reverence for death and the afterlife in Egyptian culture, as well as the fear of defying divine powers by desecrating a sacred tomb. The myth of the Curse of the Pharaohs remains one of the darker and more enduring mysteries of Egyptian mythology. Number 9. The Cannibal Hymn. The Cannibal Hymn is one of the most eerie and unsettling texts from ancient Egyptian mythology. Found in the pyramid texts, this hymn describes a pharaoh consuming the gods to absorb their power and sustain his divine rule in the afterlife. The imagery of the pharaoh as a cosmic predator, feasting on deities, is both disturbing and fascinating, highlighting the Egyptian belief in the ruler's ultimate authority, even over the gods. This violent and grotesque portrayal stands in stark contrast to the typical depiction of the gods as benevolent protectors. The hymn reflects the ancient Egyptians' view of kingship, where the pharaoh was seen as not just a mortal ruler but a living god on earth. By consuming the gods in this ritualistic manner, the pharaoh was believed to gain immortality and divine strength, ensuring his eternal rule. The Cannibal Hymn reveals a darker side to Egyptian beliefs about power and the afterlife, offering a glimpse into their more obscure and esoteric rituals that tied the pharaoh's fate to the cosmos. Number 8. The God Who Ate Hearts. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the heart was considered the seat of the soul and the key to one's fate in the afterlife. The concept of the God Who Ate Hearts centers around the fearsome deity Ammit, also known as the Devourer of the Dead. In the Hall of Ma'at, during the Judgment of Souls, the hearts of the deceased were weighed against a feather representing truth and justice. If a person's heart was heavier, tainted by sin and falsehood, Ammit would devour it, condemning the individual to eternal oblivion. This was a fate worse than death, complete annihilation of one's soul. Ammit, depicted as a monstrous creature with the head of a crocodile, the torso of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus, embodied the terrifying consequences of a sinful life. Unlike other gods who offered guidance or protection, Ammit was the enforcer of cosmic justice. Her role as the devourer emphasized the Egyptians' deep reverence for moral purity and their fear of the afterlife's harsh judgment. It served as a grim reminder of the stakes involved in living a virtuous life. Number 7. The enigmatic AEP. In ancient Egyptian mythology, AEP, also known as Apophis, was the serpent god of chaos and the eternal enemy of the sun god, Ra. AEP represented darkness, disorder, and destruction, and was often depicted as a massive serpent or dragon, lurking in the underworld. Each night, as Ra journeyed through the underworld in his solar bark, AEP would attempt to stop him by swallowing the sun, plunging the world into darkness. The Egyptians believed that AEP's battle against Ra symbolized the constant struggle between order and chaos, a cosmic conflict that played out every day and night. Despite being defeated daily, AEP was never truly vanquished, representing the persistent and unavoidable nature of chaos in the world. Rituals, spells, and prayers were performed to aid Ra in his nightly battle, with priests even creating effigies of AEP to symbolically destroy him. This dark and enigmatic figure highlights the Egyptians' deep fear of disorder and the unknown, as well as their reliance on divine forces to maintain cosmic balance. AEP's mythology was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the constant threat posed by chaos. Number 6. Osiriss Dismemberment. The story of Osiriss's dismemberment is one of the darkest and most pivotal tales in ancient Egyptian mythology. Osiris, the god of the afterlife and resurrection, was murdered by his jealous brother Seth. Seth tricked Osiris into lying in a coffin, sealed it, and then threw it into the Nile. Later, to prevent Osiris from ever coming back to life, Seth went even further. He found Osiris's body, dismembered it into 14 pieces, and scattered them across Egypt. This brutal act symbolized chaos and the threat of death's permanence. However, Osiris's wife, Isis, was determined to resurrect him. She embarked on a long and perilous journey to recover each piece of her husband's body. With the help of her sister Nephthys and the god Anubis, Isis found all the pieces except for Osiris's phallus, which was lost in the Nile. Using her magical powers, she restored Osiris to life, though he could no longer rule the living. Instead, he became the ruler of the underworld, a powerful symbol of death, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of life. This dark tale not only underlines themes of betrayal and violence but also emphasizes hope, renewal, and the victory of life over death. Number 5. The Weighing of the Heart Ceremony. The weighing of the heart ceremony is one of the most ominous and spiritually significant rituals in ancient Egyptian mythology. After death, the souls of the deceased were brought before Osiris, the god of the afterlife, to be judged in the Hall of Ma'at. At the heart of this process, the deceased's heart was placed on a scale and weighed against a feather, which symbolized Ma'at, the goddess of truth and cosmic order. If the heart was lighter than or equal to the feather, the person was deemed pure and worthy of entering the afterlife. However, if the heart was heavier, weighed down by sin and wrongdoing, a dire fate awaited. Those whose hearts were found heavier faced the terrifying consequences of the ritual. Their soul was devoured by Ammit, a fearsome creature with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. This obliteration of the soul, known as the second death, meant that the individual would cease to exist for eternity, a fate far worse than death itself. The ceremony highlighted the Egyptians' deep reverence for truth and morality, while also presenting the chilling possibility of eternal annihilation for those who failed to live by Ma'at's principles. Number 4. The Dark Rituals of Set. The dark rituals of Set, the god of chaos, violence, and storms, were some of the most unsettling aspects of ancient Egyptian mythology. Set was a complex and often feared figure, who, despite his role in protecting Ra during the sun's nightly journey through the underworld, also embodied treachery and disorder. One of his darkest acts was the murder and dismemberment of his brother Osiris, a pivotal myth in which Set sought to claim dominance over Egypt. His ritualistic killing of Osiris led to the god's body being scattered across the land, symbolizing chaos overtaking order. Followers of Set engaged in various shadowy rites, some of which were believed to involve the destruction of enemies through magic and curses, invoking Set's destructive powers. Set's association with chaos made these rituals feared, as they were believed to summon his malevolent energy. These dark practices were seen as a threat to the stability of the cosmos, reflecting the Egyptians' deep fear of disorder. Though Set was sometimes worshipped as a protector, his darker rituals cast a long shadow over ancient Egyptian religious practices, reinforcing his dual nature as both a guardian and an embodiment of evil. Number 3. The Secret of the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead, one of ancient Egypt's most mysterious and influential texts, was not a single book but a collection of magical spells and instructions designed to help the deceased navigate the treacherous journey through the afterlife. It was believed that these spells, often inscribed on tomb walls, sarcophagi, or papyrus scrolls, provided protection from malevolent forces and guidance through the dangerous landscapes of the underworld. The secret to the Book of the Dead lay in its powerful ability to secure a safe passage and a favorable judgment during the weighing of the heart ceremony, where the dead's heart was measured against the feather of truth. However, this ancient text also held darker aspects. Some spells in the Book of the Dead invoked protective curses or divine retribution against those who would disturb the tombs or attempt to desecrate the deceased. These secret spells, rarely discussed, underscored the ancient Egyptians' deep fears of having their eternal rest disturbed. The text reveals the Egyptians' complex understanding of death, mixing both reverence for the afterlife and a profound fear of the unknown forces that could threaten one's eternal journey. Number 2. The Night Ra Fought the Serpent. In ancient Egyptian mythology, every night the sun god Ra embarked on a perilous journey through the underworld aboard his solar bark. One of his most terrifying foes was Apep, also known as Apophis, a giant serpent embodying chaos and destruction. As Ra sailed through the night sky, Apep would rise from the darkness to attack, threatening to devour the sun and plunge the world into eternal night. The nightly battle between Ra and Apep symbolized the constant struggle between order and chaos, with Ra's victory ensuring the sun would rise again each morning. This myth holds dark undertones, as it reflects the Egyptians' deep fears of disorder, death, and the unknown. The battle was not guaranteed. Ra's strength was often tested, and only through the aid of other gods, like Set, could he defeat the serpent. This eternal conflict revealed a cosmic uncertainty, suggesting that even the gods were vulnerable to forces beyond their control. The Egyptians believed that should Ra fail, Apep would bring about the end of the world, making this nightly fight one of the most important and anxiety-inducing aspects of their mythology. Number 1. The Story of Anubis. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Anubis is one of the most enigmatic deities, known primarily as the god of funerary rites and the protector of graves. Often depicted with the head of a jackal, Anubis is associated with mummification and the journey to the afterlife. His role was to oversee the process of embalming and ensure that the dead were properly prepared for their journey into the underworld. However, beneath this role of protector lies a darker aspect of his mythology. Anubis was believed to guard the entrance to the afterlife, where he presided over the weighing of the heart ceremony, a judgment that determined whether the deceased soul would enter paradise or be devoured by the monster Ammit. The story of Anubis holds darker connotations related to the ancient Egyptian beliefs about death and the afterlife. His presence at the scene of judgment underscores the harsh realities faced by souls after death. If the heart was found to be heavy with sin, Anubis would ensure that the soul was cast into the maw of Ammit, thus obliterating its chance of eternal peace. This grim responsibility highlights the Egyptians' deep-seated fears about the judgment process and the ultimate fate awaiting those who failed to live righteous lives. And there you have it, the top 10 dark secrets of ancient Egyptian mythology. These tales remind us that mythology wasn't just stories, but a reflection of deep fears and hopes about life, death, and the unknown. Which one gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more thrilling explorations into ancient myths with Robot Ray.